Blessings to you. Welcome to Artist Impact. I'm your host, Jere B. This show is all about great music of every genre. We highlight, feature, and critique singers, bands, musicians, poets, and rappers from our local region and from all over the world. Now, most you may have never heard of before, but we bring them right to your door to encourage them and to see how we can impact their career. Helping me to do this is our Impact Panel, or as I like to call them, our Panel of Love. These are all entertainment professionals, and what they're going to do is review and critique the two artists we're presenting in this episode and see if in some way, somehow, they can impact their career. Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out. But let's introduce today's panel, and I'm so grateful that this superstar, Jeanne Ricks from New York, who slams the smooth jazz guitar, is joining us for the first time. How are you doing today, Jeanne? Welcome.
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm so looking forward to hearing these two artists. Thank you.
Absolutely. And Joyce picks up a saxophone in Dallas, Texas, and the whole state comes to a halt. I'm so grateful you're back with us, Joyce. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, and thank you so much for having me back.
I'm so grateful you could join us. And, you know, Ginetta, we go way, way back. This is your second appearance on Artist Impact. And I tell you what, being the jazz ambassador, it's hard to get you. So thank you so much for joining us. How you doing?
I'm happy to be here and perhaps be an influence, a positive influence for the young women. So yes, thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. And Jeanne, I tell you what, you've had George Benson, Shaka Khan, Anita Pointer, the late Nick Coleone record your stuff. I got to tell you, you are a wonderful composer. What comes first for you? The melody, the rhythm? What happens that makes your song so magnetic?
Oh, thank you. Well, actually, I hear usually the whole thing at once. I mean, I'm fortunate in that when I wake up in the morning, I usually have like my personal radio is already tuned in and playing me something new. And I have a little dictaphone that I keep by my bed, and I try to capture as much of the arrangement as I hear, but it's tough. So I fill in the blanks. But yeah, I kind of hear everything all at once, and it just kind of flows, and I just kind of pick up the song as it's going.
Well, I love your music. I got to tell you, I'm a huge, huge fan. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. And you're an incredible drummer, so I'm incredible that I've gotten to work with you and have you on some of my tracks.
Grateful. Hey, we'll talk soon. I want to say that of all of the wonderful awards, and of course I've interviewed you on the Entree Musician, Joyce, but out of all the incredible awards you've won, what do you think is your most precious? What comes closest to your heart?
I think they're all pretty equal because every award is precious. I've received award from local NAACP and also ASCAP awards. But to me, they're also different. And I'm honored when my songs reach the top 10 or number one, whether it's a radio chart in this country or even in another country. I'm always honored by that. So when you're an independent artist, you celebrate every achievement because you're a lone writer and you don't have all these departments taking care of everything for you. So when an indie artist achieves charting on whatever charted it's on, you're just excited about them all.
Absolutely. Well, you're a true entree musician. I got to say it right now. I'm so grateful you're my sister. Thank you. And Ginetta, my goodness, I don't know. We've had an opportunity to be on the same stages before, but you are such an incredible trailblazer. And the last time you were on, you told us a lesson that you've learned from Frank Sinatra. But you're a globetrotter, so I'm sure you've picked up some other wonderful lessons as well. Could you give us another one?
Well, the Frank Sinatra one, when I told you about the measure of a star, the true measure of a star was that he paid attention to the woman who was cleaning the bathroom as much as he paid attention to me. And I felt there is a star giving attention to each and every fan, regardless of their station in life. And so as a rule, I have tried to carry that on, and I travel in countries as varied as Uzbekistan, Jakarta, Russia, all over the world where English is never a language, but we speak from the heart. And so I always try to give each and every person attention when they say something about my music or how it's touched them. I really find that's the important measure of a true star, to give that attention and love to a fan.
Absolutely.
That's really an important thing, especially when it's not your language, but rather the language of music, which is international, as we all know.
Well, you are a true star, so I really appreciate you being
Thank
here.
you.
And I'm introducing stars. This is a power hour. This is incredible women in music. And Sharl hails from Melbourne, Australia, and I love your work. I'm so grateful that you submitted this song, I Fell in Love. And I want to ask you, what is the aspect of this song? What made you write this tune?
So I Fell in Love is a single from an album that I released recently, which is called City Lights. And the whole album is really a reflection on my life and love over the last few years. So this song in particular was kind of telling the story of what was really a very difficult time, difficult relationship. But it's really more the story of how I grew through that and gained a lot of strength and resilience. So I hope that comes across in the lyrics.
It definitely came across, and I want to introduce it to our American audience. Can we do that?
Yes. So hi everyone, I'm Sharl. I hope you enjoyed this song and the music video for I Fell in Love.
Excellent.
I fell in love with the wrong guy, and now I'm sleeping on my own. I fell in love with the wrong guy. Sunrise, daybreak, memories underneath my skin. I lie still to conceal the turbulence within. My eyes begin to open and realize you're gone. The heaviness is lifted from all you've done. I fell in love with the wrong guy, and now I'm sleeping on my own. I fell in love with the wrong guy. Broke me down till I had enough. Times were hard, but I'm better now. I fell in love with the wrong guy. Twisted, lying, convinced me I was wrong. Blind to your gaslighting, I believed you all along. You were a pretender, one of the greatest. Now I'm vindicated, the great escape. I fell in love with the wrong guy, and now I'm sleeping on my own. I fell in love with the wrong guy. Broke me down till I had enough. Times were hard, but I'm better now. I fell in love with the wrong guy. With time and forgiveness, I washed away the doubt. With more understanding, I found myself. The ones who surround me, they never let me down. I only look onwards now. I fell in love with the wrong guy, and now I'm sleeping on my own. I fell in love with the wrong guy. Broke me down till I had enough. Times were rough, but I'm stronger now. I fell in love with
Now that's what I'm talking about. I fell in love. Very, very catchy. Jeanne, what did you think?
Excellent. I mean, I can actually remember the hook, so it caught me.
That's right. That's right. Joyce, what do you think?
Very inspirational. I love the song. Very inspirational when you're going through dark times. Thank you.
Absolutely. Janetta, what do you think?
I loved it. I thought it was really swinging and catchy, and I loved the video as well.
Fantastic. Well, why don't you just go in just a little deeper, Jeanne, and tell Sharl how you really feel about I Fell in Love.
Oh, I did. As I said, the hook, I can actually, it caught me immediately. The only thing I would ask Sharl is in your vocals, I almost felt it a little metronomic. I would love it if I could hear a little more passion, a little more emotion in the vocal itself without, losing the meter. You still be in the beat, but if I could just hear a little more of you in that vocal. What do you think of that?
Yeah. I find it hard sometimes to judge my vocals. It's something that I definitely will continue to try and work on. I mean, I think in the album itself, there's quite a range of different songs and styles, and maybe in some of the others, it's kind of come across differently. As definitely something that I'll be mindful of with my future work.
Yeah, I listened to a couple of your other videos, and again, I just wanted to hear more of you. When you sing your vocal, do you see anyone in front of you? Are you just singing into the microphone, or do you actually see yourself delivering that vocal to someone?
I don't tend to picture a person. I tend to just kind of feel the music and try and get into a zone with just feeling the song, rather than a person. But is that something that you recommend?
Yeah, just so that you can, again, just to begin to get yourself out of yourself so that you're communicating not just to that dead mic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's fantastic. Fantastic advice. Well, Joyce, why don't you pick up where Jeanne left off and let Sharl know what's happening?
Absolutely. This was a nice, beautiful pop song that I love, because I love how the drum hook was strategically placed. And also, if I may go to the very ending, when you took a break on the outro, if you will, and you started with Sweet with arpeggio on the piano, I thought that was nice. Because sometimes, this is me personally, I like songs that are not real busy and full. Then I like those as well. But either way you go, you have to be very crafty with it, if you know what I mean. And I thought you did a good job at that. And I felt the emotion. I felt the emotion that it was either your experience or experience of a very close friend that you went through. And I think somebody can sit there without it being too busy to feel the emotions and maybe get some healing from it as well. Because I wrote it down. One thing that you say, memories underneath my skin. That is perfect. Because when you're going through something traumatic, you can actually feel it physically. And I appreciate you putting that in your song as well. So I love the song because we have a lot of women, and men too, of course, but women going through that. So thank you for writing a song that would appeal to the emotions and healing.
Wow.
Thank you, Joyce.
Absolutely wonderful. Well, Ginetta, sometimes you bring a pitchfork, sometimes you bring a shovel. What did you bring with you today?
Well, I loved the hook. I loved it. And what I would say is I would have named the song I Fell in Love with the Wrong Guy. I like that whole hook as a title because it was definitely the wrong guy. But you were growing stronger, and I like the fact that that's sort of you were emerging from a chrysalis. You know what I mean? So you were kind of coming out fighting, which was really a beautiful thing. And also, I didn't even know you played piano till the end of the tune. I think, Sharl, you ought to feature that a little more because you can play piano, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you play piano, and I think you play quite well. So I thought that should have been featured a little more. And on the outro, let it sing a little more. You know, let it fade out. I like those long fades with little tinkling on the piano and kind of showing your other talent besides your vocal, which I liked. I loved it. But again, I think it should be named I Fell in Love with the Wrong Guy. I love that hook. I love the whole title instead of just I Fell in Love. And also, I liked the whole vibe about it because it was like, I fell in love with him, but you know what? Step off, brother. It's all over but the crying. You know what I'm saying? So you are getting up and doing your thing. So I liked it. That's what I love too. But let it lay a little more. Let it go. Let it go a little longer and fade out. A little longer fade with a little more of your beautiful talent being showcased. That was my opinion.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, you sound great, Sharl.
Fantastic for all of you. Now, you've heard what the panelists had to say. Sharl, what do you think? Do you have any pushback or?
I'm just so grateful to be in the company of all of you. It's amazing to have the chance to have my work reviewed by such established musicians, and I'm very grateful for everything that you've said. So Jeanne, thank you for the note about vocals. So I'll definitely be more mindful of that. As I said, I think it is challenging sometimes to judge your own vocals, but it's something that I'll play around with in terms of how I approach my mindset when recording. So thank you for that. Joyce, I'm really happy that you kind of picked up on the whole essence of this song, and that I did hope that it would kind of touch people and also be helpful to people with their healing. As I said, it's such a difficult time. It's something that I felt, I hope people don't relate to it, but at the same time, I know there will be a lot of people who do kind of have that similar first-hand experience, and I'm just really glad that music can be a way that we can reach people and also help them in that way. So I think that's such an important core to art and music as a whole, so I'm just really grateful to be able to do that. And Ginetta, interesting point about the title. So I did actually think quite long and hard about the title, and I actually did weigh it up very strongly between I Fell in Love and also Wrong Guy. So I think you kind of captured their kind of getting both angles in. I think I decided on I Fell in Love in the end because I thought maybe it would be a slight twist to what people would expect when they pick up that title for the first time. So that's how I got there in the end with that decision.
Very, very good. Very in-depth. And don't go anywhere because we have to come back from Australia and go to Los Angeles where, you know, Ally, you were a transplant from Pennsylvania. So, man, you dove deep to get into Hollywood, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
How you doing? I love your song.
I am wonderful, and thank you so much. I'm definitely happy to be here.
Absolutely. We're happy to have you. Tell us a little bit about Tears to Treasure. Tell us about it.
Yes, so Tears to Treasure means so much to me because it's just a story of how God brought me out of an abusive relationship and into my purpose. And something that a lot of people don't know about me is, prior to Tears to Treasure, which was my first single ever, I had a limiting belief that I could not write my own music. And I've been singing since I was a very young girl, and people would ask me, where's your YouTube? Where's your Spotify? Where's your music? And I would say, oh, I'm just a cover artist. And there's nothing wrong with being a cover artist, but I knew that that wasn't the truth for me.
Wow.
I just had a limiting belief that I couldn't write music. I would throw all my stuff away. But when God took me out of the darkness and brought me into the light, the floodgates opened, and what the enemy meant for evil, God turned for good.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, we would want to play it right now for our audiences. Do you give me permission to do that?
Absolutely. I would be honored.
Thank you very much.
Tears I done cried. Fought for my soul and I fought for my life. Tears I done cried. Fought for my soul and got killed off my pride. I went from tears to treasure. I went from tears.
When I was going through all that pain, I felt I didn't deserve it. I had to understand that pain I went through had a purpose. Man, I'm so glad that pain done gone and now it served its purpose. It could've killed me, but it turned me to a better person. Now I'm back focused and I really love my lifestyle. Everything I saw with my eyes closed, I'm living right now. I used to visualize this life, now hit the manifest it. Now when I cry, it's tears of joy, and man, it's such a blessing.
Tears I done, tears I done, tears I done cried.
Yeah.
Fought for my soul and I fought for my life. Tears I done, tears I done, tears I done cried. Fought for my soul and got killed off my pride. I went from tears to treasure. I went from tears to treasure. They always knew me as the one who would just stick around. So done with boyfriends, yeah, I'm ready for my husband now. The way you did me had me looking like a circus clown. Now I know better, I know God is gonna hold me down, 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 Tears I done, tears I done, tears I done cried. Fought for my soul and I fought for my life. Tears I done, tears I done, tears I done cried. Fought for my soul and got killed off my pride. I went from tears to treasure. I went from tears to treasure.
And that was Tears to Treasure. I loved it. I thought the visuals were really cool, but who cares what I think? What do you think, Jeanne?
I'm the musician that just wants to hear the music, and that was a solid song. I really did love it. Very crafty.
Absolutely. What do you think, Joyce?
Oh, it got me from the intro. Immediately, you told me what the song is about, and it didn't fail to the end.
That's fantastic. Ginetta, let's hear your thoughts.
I loved it. I loved the visuals, and I also loved the music. I thought it was really interesting because I thought it was going somewhere else, but it was great.
Well, let's just go deeper. Come on, Jeanne. Give it to her, really.
Now, let me just hone in on a little bit of craft, of recording craft, and just see if this is something that resonates with you. On the vocal, I wanted to hear a little more of depth of effect. But here's the trick that I use. I record the vocal, the same vocal twice, right? Only one of the vocals do I put my processing on. The other vocal, I leave completely naked. Now, what that does is, when you mix them, right, you're able to flood this one with the effects that you want. You get the reverb, you get the delay, you get lovely, you know what I mean? But this one gives you more presence so that when it comes out the speaker at people, they still hear the actual word. You know what I mean? They're still getting the raw. And when you get that balance between the two vocals, I think you're gonna find that is a better, just a suggestion of a way to be able to, for people to be able to hear the words, but at the same time get a little more depth of the, of reverb, of effect as well.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with Jeanne. The layering is something that I've taken into my newer music that I've been coming out with more recently. So I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. It's a neat trick. People always ask me, how are you able to get so much, because I do it on my guitar too. And people are like, how are you able to get the guitar to sound so present? And I don't tell them, but I just told you. So please take advantage of that. Leave that one track that has absolutely nothing on it and just play with the distance between that and your track with the actual effects on it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it definitely helps to understand the process more, for sure.
That is fantastic. You are doing a little engineering guidance there with the parallel processing. Joyce, what's your angle for Ally?
Well, I love your voice. To me, it sounds like a very contemporary pop song. And I love pop songs, and it was very well done. I thought it was mixed and mastered very well. I love how you had the pre-chorus and the chorus coming back again. And for some reason, sometimes that's boring, but it wasn't boring for me this time. I don't know why. I heard it again, but what happened at the very end, I wanted more. I don't know why. To me, I was still in the groove, and then it ended. And I don't. Gene is more of the engineer than I am, but I just felt like I wanted more, and maybe that's not a bad thing when you think about it. But I loved it. I love how the intro came in, and what you did intro, and what I was expecting from it. You sustained it throughout the entire song. You really did. And I love the variety of adding the rap element in there. Perfect. That was great. So to me, it sounds like in the pop circle, it could be a number one song, in my opinion, because it has those elements in there: the voice, the effects on the voice, the rap intertwined in it, the the beat and everything. So, and I like how your nice operatic sounds, if you will, in the background, in between. I think it's in between a chorus and a verse when you're doing the melodious things in the background. I like that as well. Hopefully that made sense. But good job on the song. I love it, and I'm looking forward to hearing more of your other songs, because I get the feeling this is just the beginning. Am I right? Yeah. So congratulations.
Very,
Thank you
very,
so
very
much.
good. Very,
Hmm.
very good. Well, Janetta, I want you to pick up the rear and go with it full speed ahead.
Oh, I love the tune, Tears to Treasure, and I love the thought behind it because it was really neat. I like the way you say you're ready for your husband. I thought that was an interesting approach to a song. But she's right. Joyce is right about the ending. It was quite abrupt, and that's another thing. As I told Sharl, I'm a big fan of, when I do live stuff, I do a lot of vamping. We call it vamping. The band gets in the groove. I'm doing stuff. We're kind of gelling. And I like that would be lovely to kind of extend it. Maybe you could have a long playing version. You don't have to change this one. Just extend and do an extended, like LP, as it were, with maybe you doing a little more operatic stuff at the end. And I just felt that your voice was not featured as it should. You have a beautiful voice, and I think maybe it got hidden in the mix a little teeny bit. And also, the rapping was lovely. I would have cut him a little shorter. I would have given him just 8 bars. But I'm a jazz musician, so I might be a little bit, I might be a little biased as far as the rap thing. Although he did a great job, and it worked beautifully in the concept. But again, I love your voice, and I think maybe um, I just thought it could had more feature, as it were. But again, a long playing version of that cool tune might be great. So for your fans, the radio version is 3 minutes, and then you have an extra kind of remix, as it were, which would be beautiful. And I love the tune, and I think you're a doll and very talented.
Wow.
Thank you all so much.
Fantastic. Well, what you heard everybody. What do you think? Any pushback or
No pushback at all. I'm just grateful to have the feedback, and I definitely honor all of you and all of your musical accolades. So awesome to be here with you guys. And Jean, I'm definitely going to take that feedback moving forward with the layering. It's something that I've started getting into a little bit, but you helped me to understand it way better on the engineering side, which I needed and I really appreciate. And Joyce, your feedback touched me when you said this could be a number one hit. That really just that touched my heart and gave me so much encouragement. And I appreciate your feedback as well. And Ginetta, love, love, love the feedback, the idea about the extended version and letting, your feedback together with you and Joyce of letting the song maybe ride out a little longer because it left you guys wanting more. And
Yes,
that's a
ma'am.
really good thing to hear. So I appreciate all of you guys so much. Thank you.
That is excellent. Panelists, don't go anywhere. Let's bring Sharl back in here. And so grateful again that you both joined us on Artist Impact. But Sharl, what is next? What's on the front burner for you?
So I'm always working on new music, and I've just started working on a new album, so really excited about that. But another exciting thing is that I have another music video coming out really soon. It's actually the music video for my song Outside from the album City Lights, so looking forward for you guys to see that.
That is fantastic. And Ally, what's on the front burner for you? What's next?
I am super excited because I have some new music coming soon as well. And I'm going to be going in a new, exciting direction too. That's what I'll say. I'll leave you guys on a little cliffhanger, but it's definitely going to be exciting, and be expectant of not only new music, but some more videos as well.
Very cool. I tell you what, well, we love having you, and I'm sure the panelists agree. But Jeanne, give us a quick tip on what's next for you, because you're all over the place.
I've got to make some videos, speaking of which, to support my EP. So I did one, which is War and Insufficient Peace, but I've got a couple more videos that I'm working on to come out next, just to get more rise out of here's another ride out of my EP.
Yeah, can't wait to hear it. Can't wait to watch. Joyce, what's next on the front burner?
I'm about to release another track off my album I'm still working on, our EP. The title is Hidden Treasures. This thing about treasures today. But the name of it, I've been working on it since last year. You know, I'm an indie artist. Give me a break. But I'm about to release Escapade, hopefully within the next 2 weeks. And also, I'm excited that I'm getting calls from agents, and I love to perform. That's my number one thing. And I'm hoping to leave the country at one point. So 2023, you know, I'm hoping to do some more things. I can't say right now. I don't announce anything until I have a contract, if you know what I mean. So there's some things, but I'm still flattered by, 2-3 agents calling and wanting to work with me. So I love that. So I'm ready to go.
Excellent. Ginetta, what's next for you, dear heart?
Well, I am planning a new record. That'll be my 6th record as a band leader. It's probably going to be another straight ahead, though people keep saying do a smooth jazz. But you know what? As much as I love smooth jazz, I just don't know. It could be a combination of two. So, and also another major tour with the United States Embassy is in the works, possibly Dubai this time. So fingers crossed for that. And then I'm back and forth between New York City and South Florida doing some major gigs. So it's great. Janetta's Vendetta is forging ahead as a brand, as a band, and as a whole idea. Like I always say, all things cool, all things jazz, all things Ginetta. I'm looking forward to my own television variety show like Cher.
There you go. Go. No doubt you're going to make it happen. And I really am grateful for all of you. Each one of you. This has been a powerful, powerful show with all of these wonderful women who are absolutely rocking it in all of your genres. Thank you so much for making me happy to be able to call you sisters. Blessings to you all.
Thanks, Jerry.
Absolutely. That's going to do it for this round on Artist Impact. Thanks again to our Impact panel, Jeanne Ricks, Joyce Spencer, and Ginetta. And a special thanks to our artist, Sharl, as well as Ally Isabella. Make sure you support their artistry by going to a show and buying their merch, buying their music. And if you are an artist and you have an original performance music video, submit it to artistimpact.armstrong@gmail.com. And let's see how we can impact your music career. I'm your host, Jere B. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.